Hey Sarah, it's Amy. Okay, so your question, I don't have it right in front of me, but basically your hiccup, I think you used that word, is to how to describe BGI or a tonal approach to somebody who is looking at things through a mechanical point of view, and they're wondering how an experience could be stored in physical tissue, whether it's an emotional experience or a chemical experience or a physical experience. Um, it's your question is a really good one, and here's where I'm going to do to you what was done to me that I didn't like. You got to get out there and you got to get your hands on people, and you've got to feel, what you're capable of feeling. Get comfortable with that so that as you start to feel that on a more frequent basis, you are so sure of what you're feeling that it's not a conversation point. You can have a conversation about it, but you don't need to convince somebody about it because you get it, you felt it, you understand it, you know it from what you have felt under your hands on the people that you've worked on. So when we try and convince somebody about chiropractic, we're trying to sell chiropractic. And I feel like that is a losing position because for those of us who have had chiropractic in our life and who have had literally life-changing experiences through chiropractic, whether it's a little change or a big change, there's no convincing that needs to happen. It's just, that's what it is. And when I first graduated from school a million years ago, it was a conversation as to like, oh yeah, I know somebody who went to a chiropractor once. Whereas now it's like, oh yeah, my best friend's uncle is a chiropractor or my cousin is a chiropractor. I love my chiropractor. The usage of chiropractic has changed so dramatically in our culture that that works to our favor because people have a personal reference of chiropractic. So too will people have a personal reference of what it means to feel those stored experiences be released through your hands. So again, at that point, it's not that you're convincing somebody or trying to prove to somebody what's happening, but you're just showing them through your hands. So that is my comment to you. And then the other part of that is we can get into mechanical physics, a reductive approach to science, or we can get into a conversation about, do you believe that the body is more than the sum of its parts? And if you do, great, then we have a place to start from. If, on the other hand, you just believe that you are a skeleton with some tissues that are all connected together through fascia, and what happens in one area of the body is completely separate from what happens to every other part, then there's a lot of splaining that needs to go on, and it's long and it's sort of exhausting. So the great thing is that when you're in chiropractic college, you kind of forget how people in the real world think. And people in the real world are actually much more connected than most chiropractic students are because, not because there's anything wrong with you, but because of your training, which is now teaching you what we all innately know is that we are connected from top to bottom and that there is nothing extraneous in the human body, that everything works to perfection and beautifully. When you are in chiropractic college, you are taught then to go through and separate those things out. So we study the skeletal anatomy, we study the muscular anatomy, we study the fascia, we study the organs, and we study the organs separately. We study the GI physiopathology as though that is somehow separate from endocrinology. And so what most people understand by living in their body and by being a human being is how connected we are. For those of us who have gone to the extra step of getting a doctorate in any type of human system, whether it's you are a gastroenterologist, you are a chiropractor, you are an obstetrician, any of those things, our training has us feel like those things are separate, where the reality is that most human beings remember that they are connected. So those are my two bits for you for today, Sunday in quarantine. I hope everybody's doing really well. And please, everybody, if you have something to add on this question about how to talk to people who are wondering how storage experiences can be stored in fascia or tissue in the human body, please feel free to add in. Thank you.